Normally when I move a plant to semi-hydro, I control everything. I choose the plant, I choose the timing, I choose the method. This time, I don't get to choose any of that. This is a mystery plant box, and it's the first in a new series where nurseries send me a box they've put together and I have to work with whatever arrives. I don't choose the plants, I don't control their condition. I only control the decisions I make once they're in front of me. And that's the point, because a lot of the problems people run into with semi-hydro aren't about the system itself, they're about mismatching the method to the plant they actually have. So every box in the series follows the same structure. In the first video, I assess what arrives and decide the safest way to move each plant into semi-hydro. Then I do the full root work and transition to semi-hydro. And about a month later, whether the plants have thrived or struggled, I come back with part 2 to show you the results. The results won't be about luck. They'll be about the decisions I make right now. And today, that starts with whatever is in this box. This first box is from Verdant Dwellings, a Victorian nursery I've admired and shopped from for many years. They're a great example of the kind of independent, plant-focused business I wanted to start this series with. So it felt fitting to start with them. Let's see what they've sent. One box. Very, very excited. I've got my knife here. I cannot wait to see what they have in this box for me. I love Verdant Dwelling. It's a business that's run by Lauren and Jeff, and I've shopped there so many times. I think I remember buying a begonia Maurice May there. They have beautiful plants and a beautiful nursery. You can check them out online at Verdant Dwellings. And they ship Australia-wide actually, and they've really been very generous. So for anyone who's in Australia watching this video, you can get 10% off your purchase by using the discount code VerdantQueen10, and I'll have that in the description below. Oh, I see there is something peeking out from there. This is actually 2 boxes, I think. Ooh, I'll separate the boxes. Tape, tape, tape. Okay, I got it. Here we are. Now, I don't know what they've packed, and I'm already seeing, ooh, those leaves are pretty thin. I'm starting to get very, very worried now. I think they might be challenging me a little bit here. Got them. Right, before we look at the plants, ooh, I love things like this in boxes. They've got blogs, and it's a lovely thank you card. And oh, look at this. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous sticker. Oh, hang on. It's not just one. It's lots of stickers. My heart is green. This is true. It's actually a heart. It's an actual heart. That is amazing. That is absolutely awesome. Not sure about the anatomical correctness, but I can see the aorta there, and love it. They have a note here for me, handwritten. This is one of their mystery boxes, they say. They're, ooh, wow. Love it, love it. Now, I don't even know what plant this is. I actually don't. So this is going to be really interesting. They say that a piggyback plant. Tolmie plant which prefers a bright, non-harsh position. I think this is what the Tolmie is. This is the piggyback plant. I think it is the piggyback plant. I could be wrong. I will fix this if I am, but this looks like a piggyback plant. Ooh, it says water as soon as soil feels dry. This is very, very soft. If you have ever felt the leaves of a pumpkin, it feels a little bit like that. Very, very soft, and this will be a great challenge for me. I've never transitioned a plant like this before. I'm really concerned about whether I'm going to keep those leaves going, and I think I need to have a lot of humidity there in order to support those leaves. I don't know what the root system looks like. This is my problem. Because I've never handled this plant before. If the root system is very, very fine, if they're very, very fine roots, I might need to use my mineral-based blend for this, or something that's like pond, in order to keep those roots a little bit happy. But I might even, honestly, for this particular plant, I really am worried. So I might not do the washing of the roots. I might use that direct method where I just get the plant, just remove some of the soil and put it straight into that mineral blend. And of course, blast it with a lot of light and keep that humidity up as well. This one is a really, really great challenge. I am looking forward to working with the piggyback plant. Now this one, I think I know what this one is. This is a Ravitophora pertusa. Pretty sure that's what this is. It's gorgeous, beautiful plants. Look at that. This is actually a climbing plant, and you can see it's starting to stalk there, wanting to start climbing. There's an area root there. So I'm probably better off putting this straight onto a moss pole. So this is going to be really interesting to work with. Leaves are quite firm. I might just do a direct transfer for this one. I think it will be okay. The thing though is I have to come back in 30 days and show you what these plants are looking like. So I have to use the method that's going to get me there, get these plants into semi-hydro as quickly and still looking very good as possible. So I might say one thing today, but as I go on and transfer the plant, I might change my methods depending on what those roots look like. But yes, this is going to be interesting. I really wasn't looking to get more moss poles, but it looks like I might have to do just that. Right, let us go to the second box. The second box. Ooh, I see something very interesting in here. I see something red. I'm excited. Just want to get to my plants. Ooh, that is them too. This one, oh, I know what this one is. This is an Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. I love a Cebu Blue. I've had a Cebu Blue before, but I think I got that one into Leca through cuttings. So it's going to be really interesting to see how I preserve the size of this plant. I think there's probably 2 of them in there. You can see that there's 2 plants in that. It's multi-planted. I'm really curious to see, probably might put one on a moss pole and have the other one trailing. I don't know. Actually, I lie. I think there's 3. That one there is a 3rd plant. Yeah, so I might put 2 plants in to trail together and have 1 plant climb up on a moss pole, and that will give me a good comparison to see how they go. Now, again, ooh, do I want to do the long method on this? I might want to do the long method. Not that the direct method won't work, but just because I want to preserve the integrity of those top leaves, because I wanted to keep climbing and I just really wanted to look good. But I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. It depends on what the root system looks like when I open that up. And of course, I will get into more detail about exactly what I'm doing with these plants and how I'm doing them in a video after this, and that's going to live at thelecaqueen.com. But that is absolutely beautiful. So if you want to grab yourself a Cebu Blue and you live in Australia, get 10% off using the code VerdantQueen10 from a Verdant Dwelling. How awesome is that? Now this is the final plant. It is a bloodleaf. Shucks, I have never had this plant before. Look at the color on that. They say it needs a bright to very bright, non-harsh position. That's very helpful. Bright to very bright, non-harsh. Okay, easily done. Water ideally when the top layer feels dry to touch. Well, that's not really going to be a problem because it's literally going to be living in water. Now there's how many of them in there? There's 1, 2, 3, like 4. It's so pretty. It feels a little bit like a peperomia. And I suspect, I could be wrong, I suspect that the roots of this plant are very thin. I really, really do. And this is another plant, because those leaves are so delicate, I think I might go down the route that I was taking with this one, and I might just keep the organic matter on and just sort of dust it off and put that in my mineral blend, not necessarily Leca. Or, you know, depending on what happens actually also when I take the plant out of the soil, if there's more than, you know, I said there were 4. If I can easily separate the plants, then maybe I actually might take one of those and put it into Leca using the direct method, blast that with a lot of light, as they say, give it a lot of humidity. So I might put that in a humidity dome just to sort of support those leaves. And Yeah, see how I go. But yes, this is a very, very interesting. Well played, Verdant Dwellings. This is going to keep me on my toes and keep me very, very busy. So those are my first impressions and the decisions I think I'll make based on the plants that have arrived. But nothing is fixed in stone yet. Nothing has been proven yet. All I've done so far is look at the plants, read them, and sort of deciding a way forward. The real test is really coming next. In about a month, I'll come back and show you how these plants are actually doing, whether they've taken off, stalled, or they've totally surprised me. And that's when we'll see whether the decisions that I made today or make when I'm transitioning them actually worked. Now I'm heading to the workbench to do the actual transition. If you want to see the full step-by-step breakdown of how I transition each plant, including the root work and setup, that's all shown in detail at thelecaqueen.com, where I slow things right down and show you exactly what I'm doing and why. And if you want to see the 1 month update when it drops, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. I'll see you soon with the results.